Blazing Hit Radio.
Better music.
Less commercials.
More Larry and Kathie.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday.
Good morning.
Morning.
If it weren't bad enough that we ate voodoo donuts yesterday, we had some left over.
And we're eating them today. You know, and I hate to say this, but when I was leaving yesterday, in my head I went, Lord, I pray that there'll be donuts tomorrow morning. Nothing would make me happier than to have a purple donut in my mouth in the morning. That sounded inappropriate.
Can I just say this right now?
What?
Because of just your hair being so straight and you wearing this nice blouse and all, you're giving off the Sarah B. Huckabee Sanders thing.
Don't you dare!
No,
Stop saying I look like Sarah B. Huckabee.
No, because your hair's very straight, and I think you could easily defend the president today. I don't know. It's just a look. But, you know, hey,
Man,
the thing is, I actually don't hate her.
Yeah.
Because why kill the messenger? You know what I mean? It's not her fault that's her job.
She is brilliant at delivering the message and making everybody else feel like a piece.
Right.
Like, she's so good at being like did Mr. Huckabee feed her broken glass growing up? Like, the lady is
She knows how to lie. She was sneaking out of the house at 11.
Like, I don't know what you're talking about. The president's, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, yeah.
They took all the time. She says, look. And they edited them all together, and she's like, look.
Yes, well, look, I am not stuck here.
Clearly, you're way hotter than her. I'm just saying, out of my peripheral, she's here.
You know what? I'll take that, because with the way I'm feeling this morning, I really thought you were going to say Mama June.
Oh, yes. She's skinny, by the way.
She is skinny.
And it doesn't work.
It doesn't look right because they sucked it all out of her except for her face and her neck. And it's like, you should have sucked there.
Well, the thing is, she was able to, diet or whatever they put on her lap band, or I don't know what she did.
I thought it was just a bunch of
I have no idea.
liposuction.
So she got all like that, but I didn't think it was liposuction because then they would have taken care of her face.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think she just lost a ton of weight, and it's just the balloon was filled up so much that it never fully deflated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Now it's just hanging from her neck. Yeah, it's sexy. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Yes, you do not look like either of those women.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Peripheral.
Bolty, throw me a bone.
Guys, we have a funny shout out. We have a funny shout out.
We do?
But yeah, that's right. If you go to the app that you're listening on right now and you go to the menu bar, you can go to shout out, that feature, and you can record something you want to say to us or a comment.
Right.
And then you could even do like a take and then play it back and see if you like it.
Oh, good.
And then you can do a retake.
A take? What, are people auditioning here?
No, I'm saying like
me.
So like sometimes it takes me more than a couple takes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially if you just smoked something.
Or I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
I get real nervous because there's a phone number that you can call for the TV network Viceland.
Oh, yeah.
And they play these messages from people all the time, like,
That
you
hate
guys
them.
are crazy.
Yes.
Or like some are like, we love you and you're the best. So I've left like 100. I haven't heard myself once.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Back to our own shout out line.
Exactly.
Okay, what do you got, Bolty?
I just wanted to point out that producer Tromboli, I think that's his name, the guy that's producing today.
Stromboli.
He sounds like a young Wiggins when Wiggins was nice. Now Wiggins is a grumpy old man. But when I first heard of the Tromboli guy, I was like, that sounds like Wiggins when Wiggins was nice. But just don't get grumpy, Tromboli.
Just don't get grumpy, Tromboli.
Yeah,
We should get that word trending.
Yes,
Tromboli.
Right.
Hashtag Tromboli.
Don't get grumpy, Tromboli.
should be my text sound.
Tromboli.
Tromboli.
Tromboli. That's what you should check into hotels under that name.
Yeah.
It's Bolty, everybody. Like a bolt and then an E. Bolty.
I like Tromboli better.
I do like Tromboli. Hey, Tromboli, you big idiot.
Hey,
Hit
come
the
here,
button.
you big old head.
If you listen to my podcast, Tromboli was the producer of that. And in fact, Tromboli took a suppository of marijuana.
What?
Yeah, and
I was late. I've been late. I've tended to be late a couple times.
we're
Yeah.
like, all right, if the next person's
Hazing
late,
at its finest.
Right, so there was a marijuana suppository, and Bolty took it, and we left him in the studio, and we left it recording,
Yes.
And so we put "Careless Whispers" on by George Michael.
Okay.
And he was alone in there, and he inserted.
Yeah.
It was weird.
You really did that?
I did it, and I got high.
Like instantly?
No,
Was it like eating an edible?
Yeah, kind of.
Was it 40
A little
minutes?
bit faster than an edible.
Okay, so 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
Okay.
So does your butt chew? Like, is it like...
No, it spit it out. I had to. I was getting too high.
Now, is that something that's actually made, or was that
it's for like medical reasons. Like
okay,
if
I
you
can
needed
see
to get
that.
your CBD. Yeah.
Okay.
People will like soak a tampon and vodka and do that.
Yeah, that's why I was saying, was it homemade or was it an actual over-the-counter?
It was made for that.
Yeah, and I don't think they make it for recreational use. It's probably for if you have a medical condition and you can't process it.
It made him like super horny. He was really weird.
He was like a cat.
He was trying to back up into everybody. Like it was just his butt too. He didn't want it.
Yeah.
It was his butt.
And it was making the noise. I wasn't even.
Was it an edible high or a flower high?
Edible for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just the other way around.
Well, no, I know, but I just wanted to know what kind of a high it was.
Yeah.
Speaking of the podcast, we have some prank calls coming up here in a little bit.
Oh,
that
I can't wait.
did randomly. We're going to play those throughout the show because we played one yesterday about the lady who called for
Chester.
Chester.
Oh, Chester. You know, when I get up in that area, I don't without any Wi-Fi, I'll get lost.
She's all, yeah, that would be nice.
Again, I have no idea what they were talking about.
Some sort of tickets.
We didn't either.
Right,
That's the
tickets,
thing.
and she would be out of range, and I don't.
Yeah, if you missed it, you can hear.
Yeah, and then Chester was like, I don't know. Did they have something going, or was it just
no,
me?
there was magic. I felt a little sexual tension.
Like she'd been waiting to get to talk to Chester alone, and Chester was, amped up and feeding it back.
And who's Chester? 1 minute he's talking like this, and the next he's all, "Hey, I'm Chester."
Right.
So who is Chester? If you missed that, you can listen to yesterday's episode. Which one?
That one.
You can listen to yesterday's episode on the app. All you have to do is listen to yesterday's podcast to hear that crank call. But we're going to hammer out a couple more, and we'll be right back.
Blazing Hit Radio.
Now with more us.
They're just really funny.
Better music.
Less commercials.
More Larry and Kathie.
To balance out all the sugar that we're eating, tomorrow I'm seriously bringing salad with no dressing. We're just going to squeeze lemon on it. No croutons either. Mostly greens. We can't end up on my 600-pound life. It is not going to be a good look when we're washing ourselves with a rag on a stick. It's just not. And then when they lift the sheet on that show and they show you what's going on underneath the blanket.
Why do they do that?
Because so we stop eating donuts.
True.
I think it's a public service announcement.
Okay, well, I stopped eating donuts mainly because there's none left.
Right. She's now just licking the paper that's in the box.
Okay, like you brought in voodoo. Like there's nothing better. I don't know how they get the consistency of the dough.
And the frosting ratio is perfect.
Even if you have hard Captain Crunch on it or something, for some reason, it still all works.
I don't know how they do the voodoo that they do so well. It's spelled, hell, make me want to shoop, shoop, shoop. Let me bring you back to the subject. That's all of that. Make you work up a sweat. When you skip to the loo, my darling, not falling in love, but I'm falling for the scoop.
Wanna get ya, which about a dollar, you a best under pressure.
Oh, Sandy, I want to taste you.
We'll get your lips wet because it's time to have sex.
Oh, man.
Pep. On your mark, get set, go.
Here we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Back in the day cafe. Back in the day cafe.
Totally, yeah.
Speaking of back in the day, this is a crank call that I did on my podcast, Larry Uncensored.
Oh, good.
And we haven't aired them on the show yet, so we're like, why haven't we aired these? And this is one I called Abercrombie and Fitch.
Okay.
And when you go to the mall, and you're nearing Abercrombie and Fitch because you can smell their cologne.
Yes.
And then minutes after you walk past it, you're like, get me near a Cinnabon so I can get that smell out of my nose.
It's gross.
I'll even go into Yank Me Candle just to be like.
So you went and you called them?
Yes, I did call them.
Abercrombie and Fitch Valley Plaza.
This is Kevin down at Aldo's.
Okay.
Can I talk to your manager?
I'm the manager on duty right now.
Okay. I just wanted to say, hey, we don't mind doing business with other people. We're all here in the mall doing the same thing. But that wretched smell that you guys pump into the mall is getting everybody sick. Every other person I talk to in the mall is overcome by your need to advertise your cologne. And, it's like, it smells like 16-year-old white boy throughout the whole mall.
Okay, I'm sorry about that, but it's controlled by our home offices, so we don't have any control over it here at the store.
Oh, so they come and they press a button at the home office that sprays the mall, not you guys.
No, we don't do that. It's programmed into the store.
Okay. Well, I'm about to take one of these Aldo shoes and put it in your butt. Okay, and then I'll take it out and we'll see how that smells.
Oh my God!
Speaking of putting in the butt.
Hello.
Yeah, that's I think how everybody felt.
And her little giggle lets me know that she gets
She's
that call a lot.
Right,
or that
exactly.
She gets the call a lot, like
for sure.
Right.
What I want to know is, what are the people up in Aldo like? Did they walk by that shoe store?
And
Like,
she's like giving him the bird,
Right.
And he's like, what? What? Yeah.
They walk in and kick over a display.
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah, how about that?
A giant poster of a shirtless 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Yes. Coming up next, we have to talk about this rash of car break-ins that's happening in the metro area.
Oh, no, for sure. In fact, we had like some warnings in Stapleton.
Mm-hmm.
Like some person saw a car out in the alleyway.
Okay.
Because some of those homes have an alleyway.
Yes.
And they went to try to take a picture of it. And there was no license plate on it. So they took a picture of it, and the guy drove up and pulled out a gun and said, take a picture of this.
You're kidding.
It's just getting real in Stapleton.
Yeah,
Are you kidding? You're not
No,
kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Whoa.
I know, right? I'm telling you, it's the
Whoa.
great divide between the have and have-nots. We need to start building the wall around our homes.
Yeah, no, that's true. I hate to say it, but they should never have opened it up between you and that other neighborhood.
I
right?
agree.
You totally
Connection
agree, right,
over to
Bolsey?
Montview or whatever.
On that side of Montview,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have done it, because now people use that as a way to get home and through, and all that traffic is.
So
All
in
those
other words,
people are
Kathie's
coming through where that wouldn't have been on their radar before.
Right, Kathie's theory is now that they're driving through, they're like, well, look how the other half is living.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're driving through going, wow, they just leave bicycles in the front yard? Well, I'll have to take that.
Right.
They just leave a
Their
winter
garage
coat
door
at
open?
their right. They leave their garage
Right.
door open.
Yeah, for
yes,
sure.
Right. So
well, we'll get into that next. Call or text us now
I'm so excited.
on the Yolo Run phone line.
Alexa, will you be my friend?
Of course we can be friends.
303-728-3420.
You seem very nice.
I just saw a commercial on TV, and it shows this guy, this crime happening, you know, and then they reverse this car, and like they reverse the footage, and this car goes all the way back, and it used to be like parked in somebody's driveway, and then it goes even back farther, and it shows the guy that it's his car, and he pulls up in his house and just goes in his house, and he doesn't lock his car.
Yes.
So the statistics, it's like a PSA, and they're like, 97% of cars used in crimes are always stolen cars.
Yes, yeah, right, totally.
Right, so in other words...
I'm going to use somebody's car.
Right.
I'm not using my own. You're not going to trace it that easy to me.
Right, for sure. And it
Yeah.
always ends in a crime,
Yes.
or like somebody's hurt, or
Right.
somebody's dead. Yeah, so it's just by simply locking your car, you can prevent that to a certain degree. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, people that steal the car, they're usually going to do some other crime as well.
Yes, right. It's crazy that you remember that you're citing that commercial.
Right, because I'm all on edge in Stapleton because we all email each other and we're like, we saw a guy, he's weird.
Oh my
Here's a
God.
picture, and like everybody's got cameras now, so we do see you if you're coming through.
Yes, right. But then, sometimes I'm like, sometimes the cops have the evidence. They'll even have the video of the car that pulled up and took the packages or the puppy or whatever, and they still don't go and get that person.
And you know why?
Why?
Because it's like there's so many crimes and they have to
Okay.
prioritize.
Right.
However, sometimes they will push it through if you're their favorite morning show.
Right.
So sometimes it gives the cops a little bit, hey, they did this to
Yeah.
you guys?
Right.
Yeah, we're going
Well-
to get him, Larry and Kathy.
Where were they when my sister-in-law got broken into?
Oh, yeah,
that
damn
sucked.
it. Well,
Yeah.
she's a little too removed.
I guess so.
It'd have to be us.
It was almost like they didn't care. I was like they were faulting her that she had a house off of First and Federal. It's like, she was don't hate those people just because luck didn't strike them with money. They're still hard workers. They still got to support their families and keep what little belongings they have.
I think what you're saying is like the cops probably get so used to it that it's just like a regular job to them.
Oh, you're right. It
you know
just
what I mean?
falls into the normal.
Yeah, fill out that paperwork and we'll let you know.
Maybe, we'll ask the pawn shops around here.
We're looking for murderers right now.
Right. So the all of the news outlets have been reporting as of late, there's been a lot of like cars being broken into, especially in Colorado Springs. Okay, so several cars were broken into recently down there.
That's the Bolte's family who's doing that to your cars.
Thanks a lot, Bolte.
Bolte's from the Springs. Right.
Several credit cards taken and ID taken from one of the vehicles.
You can't leave that stuff in your car.
Those were used at a local Walmart. Then there was also a credit card where they went and charged $2,100 at a Best Buy.
You got to do what I do. You have to get yourself some industrial gloves.
Okay.
And then you go down by where people do drugs.
Okay.
And you pick up all the needles.
Okay, good.
And then you put them in your ashtray. I mean, you put them in your glove compartment and your center console.
Nice.
So when people start going through there.
Yeah, that's good.
What are you going to do?
That's really good idea.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Saw car.
Right. Until that one time you're high and forget.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, officer, my insurance is...
Okay, so the El Paso County is saying that the trend is up of breaking into cars is up 8%.
Where's this at?
In El Paso County. So, Colorado
in
Springs.
The West County town of El Paso.
And here's the thing. Of all the cars that they had broken into Monday night, all of them had their doors unlocked.
See,
so
you're just inviting them.
I just want to tell everybody out there, come on.
Yeah.
How do you leave your car and not lock it?
Sometimes it's like, if you don't get in the routine of it, I mean, there should be a routine every night where you hear that, where you hear the honk.
When you get out of your car, you should do it. Like,
no, I know.
Even when I come into your house, even if I know I'm going to be in there for 3 minutes, I lock it.
So do I. But I mean, like sometimes if your hands are full of groceries and you barely just got in, I'm not the one that forgets. Chris is the one that forgets, but I have probably forgot, so I'm not totally innocent. But like, I'm just always like, yeah, it's
because I just didn't think it's kind of like, don't make it that easy for the criminal.
Right, like
don't leave your front door open. Don't leave credit cards in your car and then leave it unlocked on top of it.
Agreed. Like you're
asking for it.
Keep a very hungry pit bull that lives in your car.
No.
At night.
No, it gets cold overnight. That's not
fine.
nice.
Let him have the keys. He can turn the heat on. It's press to start.
He can turn the heat on.
Right, it's press to start. His little paw.
In my hometown where I come from, in upstate New York,
out in the West Texas town of El Paso,
very small, and you could definitely probably leave cars unlocked. I know people have left keys in the ignition as they went into the grocery store, so I do know that there's an area where that happens, but
it ain't Denver.
It ain't Denver, and it ain't Colorado Springs.
No.
It ain't Castle Rock. Like, it's
those
nowhere.
days are long gone.
Yeah, so it's just, come on, everybody, lock your cars, lock your doors, lock your house.
And you should be in touch. Like, we just happened to get on with our neighbors on our block and get in an email thread.
Yes.
But you really should be on an email thread on your block so you can look out for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, a lot of people are like, well, I don't know my neighbors and I'm comfortable with that. And it's like, well, unless if you're looking out for each other, then somebody's going to get hit.
Right. They need to know that there was a robbery across the street.
It's a group effort for sure. And then that way, when somebody says, hey, I saw somebody looking around your house, that way you know what I mean?
Right.
And then everybody go out and get the door, the rings and
no, for sure.
Those lights.
No, for sure.
It's so sad because the marketing for those keeps showing that like the lady's getting her nails done somewhere and some other guys somewhere else.
And then the door,
Right. So then eventually the thieves are going to be like, yeah, I'm going to hedge my bets that you're not here and that you're getting your toenails done.
Yeah, true.
And I'm going to kick in the door. Oh, my God, you are home.
And now,
invasive, violating, and just disgusting.
it's Celebrity Trash and Bash.
With Larry, Kathie, and Wiggins.
Sponsored by the Mike Sawyer Law Firm. Call 303-GOOD-LAW. Here's Kathie J.
Larry, that guy from Glee, Mark Salling. Salling, yeah, the guy who was up on all the child porn charges that ended up killing himself.
Which, like, you can't really blame him. It's like he tried a couple times before.
To kill himself.
Right, and it's like, dude, you either do it or don't.
Right.
And so then he did. And I think it's like, what was he going to do? Like, I'm sure his family was saying, hey, it's 7 years. But then he was probably like,
you have no career.
Right.
Nobody's going to want to hire you.
And he's so known.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Mark Salling, if you don't know, he's 35 years old. He got arrested in 2015 after an ex-girlfriend tipped off the FBI
to all the child porn on his computer.
That he had thousands of files of child porn on his computer.
And it was disgusting. It's like, like where they're literally those guys that are into like child porn.
It's gross.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I understand why he hung himself. You know what I mean? It's like.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be a good time in prison.
Jail, right.
Right. Well, anyways, prosecutors are now trying to get the case dismissed following his suicide.
They're like, Your Honor, he's not coming. He's late. Yeah.
Page 6 is reporting that the United States Attorney and the Assistant United States Attorney Chief on Monday asked the judge to dismiss the case. What does it really matter?
Well, I think part of it is this. I think there's supposed to be some restitution for victims.
Oh, right. Yes, I have that.
Right. And I think what they're trying to do is make sure they get paid before the family can be like, well, this is our money now or something like that.
Okay. All right. So it does say here in this article that part of his plea deal was 4 to 7 years in prison, like you said, Larry. And then he was expected to pay each victim of the child porn $50,000 in restitution. The victims now have to sue his estate, so that would be...
Okay, probably why they're trying to do this.
The lawyers want to get their money out of the estate before the lawsuit in the family.
Probably.
Okay.
What could he be worth, though? He didn't do too much.
He wasn't in Glee for very long.
Right, and then
Maybe
once
you
this
got
came
$1
out,
million?
he probably didn't have a job. And then the thing is, it sucks because, if you go back to be reminiscent about Glee, there he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like now you have to choose an episode that Puck's not in, or because he did float in and out. You know what I mean?
Right,
but
right.
It's like,
he wasn't the main. Right.
It's like trying to watch the Cosby Show now. That guy's in every scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Reese Witherspoon is talking about how she left an abusive relationship and it empowered her.
Bitch, you better not be talking about my husband.
I know. That's immediately who I first thought of was,
Right.
I wonder if she's talking about Ryan Phillippe. Larry's going to be mad.
Because honestly, he was her main, and then they broke up, and then she's been with this guy for a really long time.
And has a kid with him.
Right, so I don't think there was a ton of guys in between, so it's like, it probably is him, maybe?
So she's not saying who.
Right, because they'll punch her in the face.
Reese Witherspoon has a movie coming out with Mindy Kaling and Oprah.
Yeah, she
And
likes to
it's
hang all over Oprah now.
Right.
In their variety picture on the cover of that magazine, she's draped all over Oprah.
Right. This is my friend.
And Oprah's like, get this chick off me.
Get this white chick off of me.
Where's Gail?
So Reese revealed she was once in a relationship that was both psychologically and verbally abusive. She said, a line got drawn in the sand and it got crossed, and my brain just switched. That's when she knew she needed to leave. I knew it was going to be very difficult, but I just couldn't go any further. It was profound, and I was young, really young.
Okay, this had to be Phillippe.
It has to be Phillippe.
And she says it was very hard, and it would be hard to leave that.
Yeah, I know, because he's so good
Right,
looking.
I'd be like, hit me again, and put some stank on it.
Larry.
It's different when it's guys.
She says she's a different person now. It's part of the reason she can stand up and say, yes, I'm ambitious. It's because someone tried to take it from me. Oh, yeah, that's totally Ryan Phillippe.
But on his side, he's like, man, that bitch is so full of herself. You know what I mean? And
right.
Remember when the audio leaked when she was trying to get out of that DUI? And she's like, don't you know who I am? This is going to be all over the paper.
Right.
You're going to be on the news tomorrow.
We did see that side of her.
Right, for sure. I would hit that too. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Kim Kardashian just made $10 million.
Okay, yeah, that was kind of cool.
From her fragrance.
Yeah, it was cool because I saw this thing that she did where it was like she gave one to Chloe or something like that.
Okay.
And
remember, she gave them to her enemies.
Right.
And then she also gave them to
her
people
friends.
she loved. Right.
So you get this big chocolate heart.
Okay.
And it comes with a mallet. and then you have to beat the chocolate open, and then the bottle of perfume is on the inside.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that you get this big thing of chocolate.
Bitch, I hate her. Great idea.
Yeah, right?
Why didn't I think of that?
And none of the Kardashian girls ate their chocolate.
No,
It was just
right.
like, perfume. They're all, this has less calories. It tastes terrible. Yeah.
So, yeah, for her, it was an easy $10 million payday.
Yeah.
She got that right off the bat.
Yeah, that's
nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
Good for her.
It's good for Courtney. Have you seen that guy she's with? The young guy? He's like hanging around a lot more than I thought he would.
I know, but what's really sad. I don't know where he's from because he's definitely not from here. But
He's like a Cristiano Ronaldo. He's sexy.
Yeah, but his name is Eunice.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah,
It looks like young.
Yeah, it's Younes, Eunice, and it's kind of like we're trying to not say his name for a while because she was trying to keep it under wraps.
Okay.
And then the girls were like, Chloe was like, really, bitch? She's like, we have to walk around here. She's like, we've all shared so much, and now we can't say his name.
Right.
And she's like, then Courtney was like, fine, bitch, say his name. And then Chloe's like, Eunice.
Eunice.
Right. That was Courtney trying to be like, I don't know him well enough to make him change his name.
Well, Eunice is only 24 years old. Courtney's almost 40.
Well, and I'd imagine she is smart in the sense that now that they've tasted the good life and they all live in giant houses on hilltops, she's not going to be dumb enough to date some regular person, even though she has enough money for...
Isn't he a regular person? He's just a good-looking model regular person.
That's what I would assume that anybody else would date somebody like that, but I think she would make sure that he's like heir to the something fortune.
All right.
You know what I mean? Like, why would she go...
Because he's good looking and they have great chemistry.
I guess.
She's a bitch, excuse me.
No, she is.
So the fact that, this dude is making her laugh and smile, I am all for it.
We all start smiling when we get laid.
Right? And a 24-year-old?
Right.
That makes it a lot better.
If your spouse is happy, something's up.
Yeah.
Why are you so happy?
Why are you? Hey.
Hey, there's no happiness going around here.
Is that new cologne? Oh, I'm going to roll my sleeves up, take my earrings off. This is about to be problems.
Uh-oh, Eunice is about to get hit.
Okay. Well, speaking of what you just said, a bad taste in your mouth, what were you just saying? Here's a story for you. Dax Shepard once had to nurse from Kristen Bell's boob in an emergency.
Okay, that is so disgusting. Like, in other words, it was so painful that she needed release.
Yes, that's exactly right.
So then I would just be
was
like
I've done that.
Yes.
You seem like the type that'd be gross enough to do that. Have you done that, Volty?
No,
Okay,
definitely
all right.
not.
Oh my God, that would.
Would you? You're with your wife.
Maybe
the
my
baby's-
wife's and she's in terrible pain and we're
Okay.
lost on an island. Yes, I will do that.
You just be the mountains.
Yeah, I guess.
And then you'd have to like suck it out and then spit it out like it was poison.
That's what he did.
Oh.
How do you know so much?
Because that's
about
what I would do. I'd go, oh, you owe me so big. I'm all, it tastes like non-dairy creamer.
Right. Which doesn't taste good.
Right.
So Kristen Bell, she has a new web miniseries called Momsplaining. So you know how there's mansplaining.
Okay.
This is momsplaining.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, totally. And necessary.
Yeah.
In the latest episode, she tells a story about Dax going above and beyond, way above and beyond. She was suffering from her third bout of mastitis.
Okay.
Mastitis. Mastitis, is it?
Mastitis.
Anyways, it's an inflammation of the breast caused by buildup of the milk.
Okay.
Okay. So it can lead to a really bad infection.
Right. So in other words, like the tip has been left out overnight and now it's all clogged and it's almost like turned into some cottage cheese toward the top.
And there's pressure behind it
Right, for
wanting
sure,
to
because
get
the
out.
milk's building up. Right. So you're going to have to go in there and do the do.
So the first two times she got the mastitis.
Right.
She took antibiotics. Well, that wasn't an option this time. She was in Atlanta. They couldn't call the doctor, and it was right after the baby stopped nursing, so that's why it was building up.
Right.
So she looked at Dax and she said, You're gonna need to suck this out.
Get in there.
You gotta get in there.
You know what? A girl with a big enough boobie should be able to hook herself up. Like, I'll be right back. I've seen it in adult films.
Larry, I have big boobs, and I can't get my mouth onto them.
Let's try. It doesn't mean we shouldn't try.
I can get it onto the cleavage, but I can't get it down to where there's...
Yeah, no, we're going to have to put like a roll, the paper towel roll in the middle.
God.
And then bend your boob up.
Okay, that's awesome.
And now it's not going to be good flow.
No, right. And why am I doing this again?
I don't know. We need to clear out some of that cheese.
So then she said we could talk about it, we could be weird about it, or we could just go ahead and you could nurse.
Wow. And then you know what he said like a couple nights later? He's like, I really have blue nads. I need your help down there. We can talk about it. We can do something, or we can just get her done.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. Remember, I hooked you up.
Right. We could talk about it. We could be weird about it, or we could just go ahead and get her done.
She's like, fine. I guess I owe you.
She does, right. So then she said he pulled it out. He had a cup next to him, and he was pulling out and spitting into the cup, and I've never been more in love in my life.
I know, that is total love.
Relieving a lot of pressure.
Totally.
Right there.
And that would make you feel better. I mean, yeah, it would.
I'd be like, are we done breastfeeding after this? Can we not do this anymore?
Yeah, are we done? And finally, Matt Lauer's ex-wife is taking time for herself. She's left the Hamptons. She's sick of the shame and the humiliation that her husband had a bunch of dildos and threw them at women.
Right, exactly.
Where is she finding refuge?
Where?
Is that the word?
Yeah.
Yeah. Amsterdam.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
She's like, I need to go. Take me somewhere where I can smoke this legally.
She needs to really escape.
Yeah. Right.
Like, I want something that just completely shuts my brain off.
She's on one of those boats that go through the, those little rivers that they have.
Right. She's just with with a hat on her face.
Yeah, exactly.
All passed out.
And then Matt Lauer's going to all those stores in the red light district buying new dildos. He's like, they have great dildos here.
He's not with her on the trip.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But every time she probably walked by one.
Every
in
turn,
the red light
every
district.
corner she turns, there's a dildo store. She's like, I can't get away from it. And then she goes to the farmer's market. It's all vegetables, cucumbers, squash. No!
Blazing Hit Radio.
Better music,
Less commercials.
more Larry and Kathie.
Definitely more us. We had donuts. We've had Valentine's Day candy.
Love.
That's 2 days of donuts.
And new.
Yeah, because we had donuts yesterday for lunch.
Right.
Yeah. And it wasn't a snack of a donut, it was actual lunch.
Oh, yes.
Because
That was our meal.
If you call it a snack, then you're going to feel like you could eat a little later because you only had a snack and not a meal. We learned that yesterday.
Here's how you make a donut a meal. You use the donuts as buns for your hamburger.
Could you imagine? Oh, yeah,
People
that would
do
be
that.
good.
Yeah, people do that.
Oh, they should.
Paula Deen does that.
Then it's not good.
Right.
So a list came out of the best and worst cities for celebrating some love, some Valentine's Day.
Okay, so some cities are better for romance then?
Yes. So
like in the United States or the whole world?
in the United States.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or does everybody do Valentine's Day or is it just us?
What do you mean?
Yeah, like
does-
other countries.
Does France do it? And
Oh, I stop getting so smart on me. I don't know.
yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
know. I was curious. It's probably our just dumb holiday.
Look
We're
it
like,
up. Look it up, Volty.
All right.
Is Valentine's Day celebrated
A
around
world
the world?
holiday.
Yeah. Or maybe they have another day.
Right,
There's
and then-
got to be a love day where Hallmark made sure that the country was going to buy cards.
right, and then like, does it go all the way to Egypt? And it's like that day is just like, well, I will not backhand you. Happy Valentine's Day. He's all,
thank
but
you."
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. You get two.
Yeah.
You get one to make up for today. But today you don't get it.
She's like,
Oh,
thank
that's
God.
horrible. That's
Right.
horrible. But speaking of, I need some help for something to give JJ for
Okay.
Valentine's Day. I don't want it to be sex,
Right.
and I don't want it to be
How about
cologne.
mono?
Huh?
How about mono? Give him mono, pink
Here,
eye.
babe, lick this handrail.
You can fart on his pillow and give him pink eye. No. So yeah, I know it's
I
always
need
the
some
typical.
tips. Yeah.
Or you know what he wants.
Right, and that's why I said I want something that's not sex.
No, she's gonna make me do it again.
Do it. Get in there.
So Valentine's Day is from European descent. Muslim countries do not celebrate it for obvious reasons. And so it actually is worldwide.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And is it all on February 14th or is the date is different?
Nope. It's all on the same day.
You know that's Yoshi's birthday, by the way.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, Yoshi. Who the good boy.
You're that go boy.
He's such a beast. Okay, so the best and worst cities for celebrating Valentine's Day.
I would say that like New York has got to be way up there. It's romantic. It's up to you. And San Francisco's probably romantic. Some of your bigger cities.
So they Wallet Hub ranked the 100 biggest cities in the country. And they're based on 23 factors, including the cost of a 3-course meal, hotel prices, attractions, nightlife, jewelry stores, florists, chocolate shops per capita, and the weather forecast.
So, like, who's got the best deal?
Yeah. So, and but think about that. Chocolate shops per capita. So, what do you think the number one city is?
And it's hard to say because now everybody sells chocolate. You can get it at Walgreens or your local
Well, I know,
supermarket.
but there's a couple of cities I can think of where you know that they're known for a chocolate place that's in the city.
She's all Detroit. Is that what you mean?
There's chocolate everywhere in that city. And love is in the air.
Angeles. Let's see. Where would I think that there'd be a lot of chocolate shops?
Okay.
Where there's fat people.
Okay, stop focusing on that.
German people. German chocolate.
Right. The German.
yeah.
Also, how's the Ghirardelli in San Francisco?
Yes.
I don't know.
That's what it is.
Oh, it is Ghirardelli.
San Francisco wins with Ghirardelli. San Francisco is...
How inappropriate that San Francisco gets the label as a place for the fudge packing. they send out the most. They send out the most chocolates.
You know what?
And they pack the fudge. And this is not very good for the, the slang.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But... They do.
Pack a lot of fudge there, yeah.
It is a stereotype, and
Right.
it is very ironic.
Right.
Yeah.
That you have a little chocolate on your mouth there. There you go.
San Francisco is number one, followed by San Diego, Las Vegas, Orlando, Chicago, New York City, Portland, Seattle, Honolulu, and LA.
Oh, wow.
So really nothing to really say, but San Francisco, it is very romantic. I mean,
Yeah. And
one
Honolulu,
of the best kisses I've ever had was in front of Alcatraz.
Oh, wow.
Now, if that doesn't scream romance,
Yeah.
I don't know
Wow.
what does.
Yeah. So I could see Honolulu too. It's just, like flowers, sunsets, tons of candy stores.
One of the best kisses I ever had was in
Honolulu. Well, which is it? I thought you said San Francisco.
Hey, it doesn't have to be the same guy.
Clearly, it's not. Now I'm really curious. Okay, so wait a minute. You went to Hawaii, and then you went to who? Oh, Alcatraz.
Alcatraz would be my husband.
Oh, okay.
Right, yeah,
She's
for
like, I
sure.
had to throw him one. She's like, but that Hawaii thing? Oh, my God. It was with Maui, the guy from...
From Moana.
Yeah. I say you're welcome.
I wish it was
You're
The Rock.
welcome.
So the 10 worst cities for love are...
Commerce.
This sounds pretty right. Nothing romantic about any of these cities. Newark, New Jersey, Detroit,
Right.
San Bernardino,
Right.
Hialeah, Florida,
Okay.
Cleveland,
Wow.
Toledo. Even saying them is sad. Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
So they don't have any chocolate stores, no flower stores.
There's just no love. No
Right.
love in these places.
Right, just self-love.
Lubbock, Texas, and Birmingham, Alabama.
Family love.
Right, there's
Right.
family love happening there.
We'll split that box of chocolates, cousin.
And if you do get to go on a first date, maybe you'll be doing it for Valentine's Day.
Right, that's, I guess, it's a lot of pressure. I mean,
It is. Who was it? Just somebody at the TV station is starting to date somebody.
is it Greg Dutra?
No.
Is he Kirk Yankee that he's dating?
No.
Damn it.
Dutra has a baby coming in July.
I know, and nothing scares a man more than that kind of commitment and lockdown.
You're right.
Run, Dutra. Run.
Somebody just started dating a girl, and it just dawned on him in front of me. I think it was yesterday. He was like,
Oh, that we're going to go.
he goes, oh my God, Valentine's Day's like next week. I go, yeah. And he was like, oh, now I have to get her something. Ugh.
I know, but it's early, so then it
A
doesn't
box
have
of
to matter
chocolates.
much.
Right.
Yeah, it can be a small box of chocolates, one flower. It doesn't have to be like what the rest of the men have to now deal with.
Yeah.
And I've dropped the ball the last couple of Valentine's Day because, just when Chris gives me the signal that it's a dumb holiday and doesn't matter, then it's like, oh, but I got you this little thing.
Totally.
Right. So
Right.
I have, all I have is really chocolate.
that you're giving?
Yeah, those, the boxes that we went through here.
Yeah.
I got them each a box of those.
Oh, you're fine then.
So I
yeah,
got something.
see, that's perfect.
Have you seen those gold roses that they dip in 24 karat gold?
Yeah.
I wonder what those cost.
Do you like that? Would you get a girl that?
Where do you buy them at?
I don't know.
To me, that's kind of like when you get the cool fiber optic rose.
Yeah,
that's
is
in
it
the
from
trailer.
7-Eleven? Is that where this
right.
comes from?
I don't know.
Is this a Rocher's?
Right. It's kind of like a trailer.
Where did you see it?
I saw it on Instagram. It's like sponsored swipe through. When you're
Okay.
swiping through,
Okay.
it's sponsored.
So it's a real rose that they actually dip in gold?
Yeah, it's actually gold.
The whole thing, or is it a rotting rose inside?
I think it's a rotting
it would
rose
be
inside,
rotting
wouldn't it?
inside.
Well, that's going to be weird.
Yeah.
But how much
you
would that
never
be?
I don't know. I mean, like
$20.
that's not how it works. Like, in other words,
That's
they may
not
be,
how any of this works.
well, they may be like dipping it in some sort of like gold leaf. But if you dipped a rose in liquid gold, that gold would have to be melted to like lava hot.
Oh, right,
and then the
right. And
rose would
it
just
would
burn up.
True.
So
Yeah,
that's not
you're right.
real gold.
Yeah.
You're being fooled.
No, it's probably
It's
leaf
fool's
then.
gold.
Fool's gold.
I tell you, you're a fool. But 1 in 10 men admit that they fart on a first date.
No, not. I mean, so I guess some guys want to just lay the groundwork and let you know this is what's up.
Right.
But
1 in 10.
I would say most men would hold it for the first couple dates. I held it for like a year.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how you did it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you pass gas in front of your girlfriends?
No, I definitely don't want them to do it, so I don't want to be a hypocrite and do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't want to hear. I don't even like thinking about my girlfriend pooping, and that's like the worst.
Are you kidding?
Yeah,
Wow, that's.
Why?
I think you need to lose that
She
expectation.
naturally does
We all
it.
poop. You never read the book. We all poop.
I know.
Yeah, we all poop, and you know what? It's like sometimes you got to give her a high five if she destroys the bathroom. You're like,
way.
yeah.
No way.
You have to look
My
at it that
girl.
way. Right.
Yeah, that's my girl.
When Chris and I were dating and we weren't farting in front of each other, I even had it so I knew how to, like get him out without sound. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
SBDs.
right, for
Silent
sure.
but deadly.
For sure. But
Nobody
then,
wants that in the Dutch oven.
yeah, after a while, I was like, can't do it anymore because I had gone through the whole thing where
Insides ripping apart.
as you're like, okay, hold on, I'll be right back. And you go to the bathroom and then nothing happens. You're waiting in there. You're like, come on. And then it won't come out. And then
You're
right
jumping
as
up
you
and
walk
down.
out of the bathroom, I'm back.
Yep.
Yeah, whatever. And then so I just got to the point where after a while I was like, sorry, we're human. We're going to fart in front of each other. And so I started farting in front of him. And now he doesn't fart. He still has not farted in front of me.
For real?
He says that he does, but I don't know that he does.
Snow White doesn't fart.
No.
Oh, yeah.
He's too pretty.
I am still embarrassed about that night I farted in front of his mother, Snow White's mother,
Right.
because we were. I don't even know if we were dating at this time. We were just friends, and we must have been dating. We were down on in the bottom floor of the house. And you remember they used to watch TV down there.
Right, it was a TV room,
right,
computer room.
Before your mother-in-law
became a hoarder.
Yes. So we were down there and there was a blanket over us. And his mother came down because we were laying on the ground watching TV. His mother came down and sat in the chair right there. So her feet were right at our feet and she was right there close to us in the area.
Chris is all, oh, thank God, she's getting handsy.
He's
He's all, hello, mother. You can sit right between us.
Oh, wow. What are you watching?
Yeah, he's all,
We started laughing about something and I let it go. Like it had a noise. Thank God it didn't have a smell. But I was mortified because here was this. I finally had a good-looking boyfriend.
Right, now you
I
just
didn't know he
ruined
was
it.
gay.
Right.
And I had a good-looking boyfriend, and here's his mother, and we're
And for all you know, he thinks like Bolty, and now you're ruined. You're tainted because
Right
you
now I'm
farted.
some
Because
gross
you shallow Bolty.
monster.
The thing is, I told you this too last time you told me that
Yes,
story.
this makes me happy.
Yeah, that Chris, when we were started to date, he did the exact same thing at my parents' house.
Thank God.
And he totally farted in front of everybody. everybody, and it was just funny. And he turned, he has those red cheeks. They got so red.
He turns into like a doll. His cheeks get so rosy.
It was so funny. That's why we call him Snow White, by the way.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that he broke wind in front of your family.
I think you have to set that standard and don't wait a year like me, but don't do it on the first date.
Well,
you know what I mean?
do it on the. You do it in the car. You're thinking it's not going to go anywhere. You're at your seat in the restaurant. Who knows?
That's when you say, "Can you run in 7-Eleven and get me some cigarettes?" Whichever are hardest to find.
Blazing Hit Radio.
Good morning, you guys.
Now with more us.
You rock.
Better music, less commercials, more Larry and Kathie.
I just love you both.
Kathie J, of course, the Kelly Clarkson of Denver radio.
Really?
Oh,
really?
Well, just because you have that big giant peach dress that butterflies come out of?
Just say big, that big giant.
No, but in the
body.
video, she has that peach dress that flies everywhere and birds come out of it. It's not like it's an extra, extra large or something. I'm just saying.
It probably is.
Whatever. I still love her. I love Kelly
that
Clarkson.
song.
Yeah.
I love that beat.
Yeah, for sure. And I love you.
I love you.
Well, I love Bolty.
I love you too, Bolty.
Love you guys.
I love Wiggins.
Love Wiggins.
I love
Miss
Kayla.
Wiggins.
Yeah, I love...
Are we going to talk to him at all? Find out how things are doing?
We should call Wiggins and get an update for sure.
Yeah.
But today, I'm a little busy because I'm watching The Girls.
Yeah.
And that means I'm watching Kathy's boobs all day. I'm just going to stare at them.
Ladies.
Gianna, Avery. That's what their names. I'm watching Your Girls.
Yes, you're going to watch Gianna and Avery.
Chris and I are doing it. We do this in an effort to spend time with the girls, to relieve you guys of a little pressure, because even like your mom probably deserves a break from the girls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, so if, I love you. If that were the case, though, get him after school. I mean, we're just pulling him out of school to come hang with you.
Yeah. That's part of this, like halfsies. So, I remember being a kid when I got pulled out of school by my aunt or something like that. I was just like, what?
Yeah, it's fun.
Right.
So Chris is on his way to pick him up right now from school.
And then
what are you going to do?
That's exactly what I was going to tell you because, we were thinking all this things. Should we take him to the kids' museum? And I was like, no. Half the kids there have the flu.
Germs, right?
Exactly. Should we go to the zoo? Maybe it's a little too cold for the zoo.
Mm-hmm.
So should we go to a movie? Yeah, we can go to a movie. But then, they sit in the dark for a couple hours. Maybe they get fidgety. So I think we're just going to do everything at the house. And we're going to open it up to like all their favorite things.
Like
Oprah.
Okay, forts are awesome.
We're going to build forts.
Yes, they love to build forts.
Right. And then they like to play bar. Because I have a bar. And so Avery's the waitress.
They take after their mother.
Right.
Yeah, they like to play bar.
Gianna's the bar back.
Is she?
Yeah, and she's
so tough.
She gets pretty pissed that Avery doesn't tip her out like she's supposed to.
Wow, Avery's going to get hit.
Right.
Like you got to tip your help.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So then there's this thing that Chris started doing. We have this book. It looks like a book, but inside there's nothing.
Okay, yes.
And so Chris has this
book.
Right, he has this key, and it's a drink stir, and he gave it to Avery, and he's like, this unlocks this book. And so we were like, oh, and she's like, cool. And so I was like putting little things in there to see, what was in there, and I had some jewels. And so I put a handful of jewels in there, and I was like, oh, let's rub the key on the outside. And then she opened it, and the jewels were in there, and she was like, I think those are from Jasmine from Aladdin. She's like, oh my gosh. And she like put them in this little bag, and I was like, well, maybe there'll be something else. And then, I snuck some other things in there, and I was like, it's some seashells from Ariel. And she's like, oh my gosh. And then, of course, Gianna's there. Where's mine? Although she really can't formulate it into words.
Right.
She's like realizing, hey, I know how this works.
She
gets something, I get something.
Yeah,
Give me that key.
Yeah.
Right. Give that damn key. I can take it from you, or you can just give it to me.
Right. So I already have some of this stuff set up for the box, some little candies for them. And
that's cute. Okay.
Yeah. So then, and then we're going to return them. So sometimes when we watch Kathy's Girls, she drops them off. So we kind of don't have to, she gets less time to herself because now she has to drive across town, pick them up, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
So we're going to bring them home at midnight.
Go for it. That's awesome.
No. We'll probably bring them home like at just before rush hour.
Yeah, no, like 2 or 3.
No. I would say like we'll have them at your house by 4.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really great. Yeah. So if you're sure you
I know you'll be at the local bar, so should I just leave
call my mom?
Pick me up on the way.
Yeah, right. Take Volty with you. The girls love him.
Are they still eating
Anything
only one
but
thing?
nothing?
Right. The one thing I've always seen him eat is Chick-fil-A, so I'll probably buy that for them till the end of time.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they're not stupid. I mean, they know how good God's chicken is.
Yeah.
Right.
Come on.
Well, now we're going to have to teach the girls a lesson about homophobia and how it sneaks its way into the corporate world. And they're like,
say, why are we eating this then if they don't like you?
well, because it's the only thing you'll eat.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm excited to see what you do, hear what you do.
Right. And anytime is just fun for us because I feel that we're only going to have Avery at that voice for so long.
Totally. So you should record some stuff while
it's
you
time
have
to
her.
record a new single with the girls.
Right.
So that will be forthcoming as well. We're going to get our stuff in the studio, and you know how they are. It's like Crystal.
Right. You got to get in the lab.
Right, exactly.
It's on their time.
Right. There's a little bunch of black babies running around. Male black
male
babies.
babies.
Yeah.
Entourage.
Shut up.
Right. They're like, you are Kathie's daughters.
I don't care what they say about me.
And now,
I go dumb, I go stupid, I get crazy.
come on and clap.
It's Kathie J's Stupid News.
Cops are on the hunt for a Taco Bell employee who threw a hot burrito at his boss's face.
Well, those beans could scald somebody.
They really could.
Good thing the sour cream was there to protect him. A nice cool layer of sour cream hit his face first.
Right.
And then the molten cheese.
Yeah! Christopher Dalton was at his job at a Taco Bell in South Carolina. He got into an argument with the boss, and it's a woman, Patricia.
Patitha.
Patitha. He got into a fight with her over having to work the morning shift.
I don't want to work morning shift, you're a bitch.
And Patitha wasn't having it.
Patitha, up yours.
Patitha actually told him, stop being a crybaby.
Ooh, that's going to get you a burrito to the face.
That made him so mad. I mean, she was emasculating him.
Right.
He threw a hot burrito at her, which had the melted cheese, and it got all over her left arm and down her pants.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought maybe Patricia was so quick, she ate it in midair. Wrapper and all. She's like, what? Now what?
What else are you going to throw me?
Right.
Throw a Mexi Melt.
Right. No sour cream.
Challenge me.
Then apparently Christopher took off his drive-through headset, broke it on his knee.
Whoa.
Threw it and stormed out.
Up yours, lady.
That's more or less what he said.
Right.
And now he's up for assault.
Wow.
Without a job to pay for the fine.
Right.
You idiots.
Wow, that sounds like a delicious accident waiting to happen.
Do you miss Taco Bell, Larry?
No, because I'll eat a bean burrito from there with no cheese.
Okay.
Just a bean burrito and the red sauce.
Okay, so you
I can still get
fill.
something if we feel the need.
Okay, because that used to be your place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, so we always tell everybody, if you're doing something illegal and you're driving, you don't want to speed. You want to make sure you use your turn signals.
And make sure your lights are all working.
And on the other end, you don't want to go too slow.
Why are you going so slow?
Right. What do you got? What's happening?
You're going too slow.
Don't do anything that's going to make the cops see you.
Right.
A 36-year-old guy named Nye Lee. Nye Lee got pulled over near South Dakota. You sure it wasn't because he wasn't a white dude up in South Dakota? Nye Lee got pulled over near Jamestown, North Dakota, Sunday morning for driving too far under the speed limit. Jamestown's about 90 miles west of Fargo, so we're dealing with those kind of people.
I think if you're driving way under the speed limit, you're high.
That's what I would think.
Right, and everything seems faster.
Totally whizzing by you.
Right, but you're only going 30.
Right, it's exactly right. The cop, so they pulled him over. Not clear how fast he was going, but the cop was like,
"Are you delivering some Chinese food, or what's going on here?"
There's not a Chinese restaurant for miles. Cops searched his truck and found 470 heat-sealed bags containing just under 500 pounds of marijuana.
Oh, Mr. Lee.
He was trying to stay under the speed limit so he wouldn't get pulled over, but he was going too slow under the speed limit.
Wow.
Yeah. A 37-year-old guy named B. Thor.
Be Thor.
That's his real name.
Okay.
Be Thor.
That's like something you say every morning you wake up and look in the mirror. Be Thor today, Larry.
Today you're going to be Thor. Or somebody lists before.
Right.
So Be Thor was in the passenger seat, and now they're both facing drug charges for possession with intent to deliver, paraphernalia. Blah, blah,
As they were
blah.
trying to arrest the other guy, he's like, Be Thor. Be Thor.
Again, I just want to point out, I think it was the fact that they weren't white dudes, which
Oh, no,
is what
for
got
sure.
them pulled over
Well, yeah,
up in
initially-
North Dakota. Come on now.
Even if they were white guys, they'd be like, why are they so, going so slow?
Oh, no, still the
What
slow thing
hell?
was stupid.
Right.
Right. Come on. You guys just play it down the middle.
All right.
And finally, a middle school student paid a stripper to visit his middle school in Texas.
And she did? Wow. Hey, at least she's a person of her word.
Look at Pulte. You like this story. So it happened in Austin. A student at a middle school used his parents' credit card and paid for her online to show up at the middle school.
Okay, so once you get to the parking lot and realize, oh, this is middle school, this can't happen.
Yeah.
You turn around, right?
Yes, she did.
Oh.
She did not go in the school.
Okay.
I was already picturing, pour some sugar on me.
Did you ever see? It was a horrible movie, but it was Melanie Griffith, and it was called Milk Money.
Yeah, she was the hot milk.
She was the stripper.
Right.
And there was the guy was the teacher and her son, and the son had her come into his class to teach them about sex.
Right.
Remember, she had a bodysuit on and she drew all of the organs on her. Anyways, according to the paper in Austin, the stripper went to the address. It was 11:30 on a Thursday. So, the lunch is about to happen. I'm sure that's what the kid, he timed it perfect.
And he's like, everybody save your dollars.
Right,
Could be any minute.
Go get your cinnamon roll today, Bolty.
I told her to meet us in the hearing test room.
Right. So thank goodness when the stripper arrived and saw that it was Grisham Middle School, she stayed out in the parking lot and called the front office and explained what happened.
She's all, I'm not going to jail here.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you point me to the nearest college?
So she didn't enter the school. The student had used his cell phone to call the stripper and, like I said, used his parents' credit card to pay for her.
He was calling her like, where are you?
Totally. Like him and all the boys were waiting in the photo lab.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Then an email got sent to parents telling them that what happened and apologizing. Our staff handled the situation with the utmost decorum and professionalism. The incident had no negative impact on any students other than the student who is responsible, and that student is facing disciplinary action.
If I'm the principal that she called, I'm like, listen, if somebody paid for it, I may as well take it.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll meet you by the bleachers.
Or the dad. The dad was like, hey, it was my credit card.
Right, exactly.
If anybody's going to get to see her.
He's all, I'm sorry, babe. They're not offering a refund. I'll be back.
Blazing Hit Radio.
Better music,
Less commercials.
more Larry and Kathie.
Well, if you want to appear more professional at work, you know what you got to do?
Go. Actually show up. Be on time.
Right. Work 60 hours a week.
Stay a little late. Maybe
Don't
help
go to
with the-
lunch.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, right. That's how you look more professional.
Kill it.
Yeah. No. All you need to do is add some emojis to your emails.
Wait a minute. To appear more professional?
Yeah, it goes against everything that
you
you're
would
told.
think. Like if you saw an emoji, you would think that they'd be like,
Child.
idiot.
Millennial. Right. Totally.
Right.
Because I do a happy face in my emails.
No, for sure. And like there'll be sometimes on social media where somebody's like, oh, my so-and-so uncle passed. And then I'll be like, oh, sorry for your loss. And then I'll put a bunch of flowers next to it.
Yes.
So I think that emojis are working themselves into, regular life. And I think that eventually it'll just be all emojis.
They say that it could get to the point where it's all emojis.
Right, which is so crazy because that's how the Egyptians started talking in emojis.
Oh, yeah,
now
you're
we've
right.
come full circle.
I've never thought about that before. The hieroglyphics,
Right.
they were
They
emojis.
were their emojis, right.
That's crazy.
Right.
Well, according to a new study out of Germany, using emojis in your work emails, not personal emails.
This is a study in Germany. So like, especially the eggplant. They like that at the work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who puts the eggplant? We know. Yeah. It's a big purple one.
Using emojis in your work emails doesn't make you look immature. It says the study, it actually makes you look more Professional.
That's when you put the eggplant emoji next to the taco and sends a happy face.
See, I know what that's saying.
Yeah, very
Right.
professional. Yeah.
Researchers found that we've all gotten so used to the emojis helping us convey a tone.
Okay, so
Yes.
it's about the tone.
Right, like you said, when you send flowers,
Right,
it
it's heartfelt.
changes the tone of heartfelt.
Right. Yeah, for sure. If somebody loses their puppy, you kind of send a heart and the picture of the dog.
Sad, right. Right. So they said, the researchers say, we wish we could see it in the work email. So if you show it in your work emails, people will respond.
Right. And then maybe it's kind of like a truth serum because then you could weed out the people who are sending the purple eggplant. They're like, Fred sends out too many eggplants.
Did you get the eggplant from Fred? Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Even Bolty got the eggplant from Fred.
Never gets it.
And then it's next to a donut, and you see how small that hole is.
Oh my God. So the usage of happy and ironic emojis significantly shapes the subtext of the message. Senders use them to soften their email messages, and it's working.
You had to have to get a feel from your supervisor first to make sure they were cool with that.
Yeah, right.
Like, if they send them out, then maybe they're cool with receiving them. But eventually that we could go the way of the emoji.
That is just
only
crazy. To me.
communicating with pictures. But now they're going to have to make 10 billion more pictures. Because there's a lot more vegetables than eggplant.
Right, there are a lot more. Zucchini.
There's 12 kinds of squash.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So did you go so far as to do like, here's my own emoji?
Oh, you mean to make your own?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the bit emoji.
Yeah, your Bitmoji.
I haven't.
Do you?
No, that's used on like Snapchat a lot.
I haven't used it. I didn't do it either. Did you?
No, I mean, I've made little, when they have those little emoji makers, but I'm not like Kim Kardashian with my own line.
You're right. That's what I was wondering.
Kimojis, they're called Kimojis.
Mm-hmm. What's your most used emoji?
The purple eggplant.
Black Santa.
Right.
Oh, yes.
And yours, Kathie? She saw both of those.
Yeah,
she saw both of those.
I also use Black Santa. What are the odds?
The purple emoji is Black Santa.
Blazing Hit Radio.
Better music,
Less commercials.
more Larry and Kathie.
Happy hump day. We're
Happy hump
almost
day.
through it.
Yes. A week from today is Valentine's Day, everybody.
Yeah, you better get your stuff ready. And if you go last minute, it's like slim pickings.
You mean to get stuff?
Yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah.
you just run through the Walgreens and grab whatever's left, and there you go.
Yeah. Try to head there sooner before later, because then you're going to get stuck with something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I still have the card I was supposed to give my husband last year for Valentine's
Well, there you are. You're set.
I think I'm good. Oh, my
Nice.
poor husband. Thank God he's so patient and awesome, because there's like birthdays he didn't even get a card from me.
Oh, no. I'm
Like-
the same way. Like, I'm always banking on Chris's understanding.
But
And then-
you grew up Jehovah Witness, so for you can always say, I just don't remember dates. For me, I'm just lazy and I don't get to it.
holidays have now turned into I'd get in more trouble spending a bunch of money on him than he'd be like, my present is don't go spend a bunch of money. You know what I mean?
right. No, for
so
sure.
it's like, yeah. And so I hooked him up like his last
I
birthday.
bet you did.
Right. But I'm also very understanding if he doesn't get me anything. You know what I mean? Because they're
Right.
so busy or whatever.
Mhm.
We're not like that. We don't hold each other hostages for, holidays and stuff like that.
Right. There was a year that I was dating Trucker Greg,
Mm-hmm.
and he was over the road, and he and another guy had taken like the double wides, the modular homes to wherever.
Right. So he takes half the house and his buddy takes the other half.
Right.
Put them together and
there's a house.
Right.
So they were taking that and they were on their way back. And so his whole excuse was, I was driving all night to get to you.
Right. To
Right?
make sure I was here for Valentine's
So I'm
Day,
sorry.
sweetheart.
Sorry, I don't have a card. Sorry, I don't have any chocolates or flowers. Let's just go out to eat, kind of thing, right?
Right. I'll take you to the Olive Garden.
Right. So then, he forgets I'm white trash. Like truck stops and truck stop food, that's like my favorite place to be.
Like Kathie's
I know for
favorite-
damn sure that they have
Beef
anything
jerky.
you need
Right.
at a truck stop.
She's like jalapeno chips.
Right, you can get me a candy bar.
Right.
I know they take care of people on the road. So I knew that in my head and I was like, nah. But then I find out from the other guy.
He stopped. Got a big bunny. He got a big
Right.
heart-shaped
They
box
did.
of chocolates.
Right.
He got perfume. He got
Right.
her.
It was a bear.
Right.
It was a bear there holding the box of chocolates. They sold them at the truck stop.
So he saw
they
that
knew
guy
that
get it.
Right, he was with him when he got the card.
In fact, that guy got Greg a bear and some chocolates just for Greg. That's
Over
how
the
nice
road.
that guy
Totally.
is.
So,
Right.
so things like that, it hurts. Okay, we hold on to it.
Trucker Greg's listening right now. He's like, wow, I'm married with 4 kids now, and that lady's still holding on to that. Ladies, pay attention.
I think he actually knows I still hold on to it. It's still a point of contention.
It's fine. You're allowed to.
And he
It's
only
your
has
life
3
story.
kids, not 4.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
he does?
3.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know. So Valentine's Day is a week away. Sorry, I got sidetracked with my
it's all right.
stupid flower story.
She's on the fact that I got nothing. Nothing.
But I know, Bolty, you are currently single still.
Yeah, single.
Okay. Well.
Dodge that bullet.
Oh, yes. Saved you some money.
Saved you about $25, if not more.
It's a sign of the times, Bolty. The new way to tell if a relationship is serious is if you know the other person's last name.
Wow, I don't even know their first name.
When you think about that with dating apps and stuff, or if you meet them at a bar or at the gym, usually I just put in like
Their
Mike
first name.
and then where I met them.
Yeah.
Like Mike Punchbowl Social or something.
Right, if you go through Kathie's phone, it's like Darrell, Edgewater, Darrell, Aurora.
Right.
Darrell,
Blackhawk.
Park Hill.
Right.
Darrell, Arvada. Right.
There was a couple James in there.
Oh, yes. No, but that makes sense because, but I mean, you're also going to be on their social media too, which it says
A lot
it
of times,
right there.
or sometimes people don't put their last name on their social media.
Right.
Yeah, so because of all of that, it's a sign of the times. If you actually know their last name, that means you've got an extra layer of intimacy with getting to know them.
It's really true because, when Kathie meets people and she remembers their names, I'm always like blown away. And then she remembers like the family and maybe even sometimes the dog's name.
Yeah.
It's like that really goes a long way with people. And it's like incredible that like you could meet somebody and be like interested in them and then not remember their name. You know what I mean? It's like, damn it. You'll be I'll be right back. I need to go to the bathroom. There you are, Jennifer. Jennifer. Right.
Dolores.
Right.
Dolores.
Frank.
So if they give you their last name, then they're okay with you Googling them and finding out that they don't have a partner and blah, blah, blah.
If you give them your last name, you're getting married.
Weren't you known as Larry's assistant for a while, Bolty?
Yeah,
You didn't even have a name.
No, he was producer Bolte, still on the podcast.
I'm talking about that chick that was out in the parking lot.
Oh yeah, that girl was like, you made out with my friend.
Are you her assistant?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. She's like, you want to make out with me? Now you can.
Did you go make out with her?
No.
Oh, okay.
Should have.
Yeah, that's the girl.
Now you can.
That's the girl next door. She owns laser hair removal, and it's not going to happen because Mike's already went there.
Oh.
And so she knows how hairy his taint is.
Ooh.
She's like, it's unrepairable.
So they don't make a laser for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to break my machine. Get out of here.
That's why it smells like burnt hair in here. We're right next door.
Speaking of technology, kids have gotten so used to yelling orders at Alexa and Siri that they've lost all of their manners. And I totally agree.
Oh, right, because you have to just say, Alexa, play this. You don't have to say, please, Alexa, play this.
Yes.
Or thank you, Alexa.
When Avery shouts orders, Alexa, play Gummy Bear, right?
Uh-huh.
She never says please or anything. And I still will say it like, Alexa, play Can't Stop the Feeling by Justin Timberlake, please. There is no blah, 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 please.
Please, right, no.
She doesn't like manners.
Yeah, no, they have not got that.
It's not
good
cool.
with it yet. No, but it's like, in the future, maybe they'll be like extra, like, you said please 4 times, free paper towels from Amazon.
That would be awesome.
Right, you know what I mean?
Like they reward you for manners.
Right, for sure.
Like
Thank you.
It still registers even though she won't listen to you.
You're really good, though, with the girls. Like, they always say please and thank you because you guys have ingrained that into them. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
And then when they ask for something, they're like, can I have that? They don't like just say, give me that.
Well,
you know
if
what I mean?
they do say give me, you're supposed to hold it back and be like, what do you say?
Yeah, no, if they say give me, I'll eat it. You
want it now? Say please.
Right.
So later today when you have them, Uncle Larry.
Be please and thank you.
You gotta do please and thank you.
Right.
Yes, I need you to get their politeness going.
Right. I always wanted to teach them. It was like, in the Addams Family when she was like, "What do we say?" She's all, "Now."
Right.